So your mum worked with adults with learning disability, did she?
Yes, sort of in further education mainly, through my childhood. And you
so
worked in it directly?
I worked in two kind of very different residential places for adults with learning disability in the 1970s, and one was kind of very Victorian. And then I moved on to a place later on, and that was kind of incredibly liberal, and you know, the difference between them was incredible, really.
Do you think one was right and one was wrong, or do you think?
Well, interestingly, I think somewhere in between was right. I've worked in the area, and you know, because your mum worked in it, we have a fair amount of knowledge, and I always find, to me, the problem was people's ignorance. I kind of know a lot of very bright people that actually don't know the difference between learning disability and mental health problems, and it's such a dramatic difference, really. Even people that have been to university, it's quite shocking that you would think they're educated enough to know, but they don't really.
You know, had my mum not worked in it, I would never have had to, you know, see the practicality of it and see, you know, the work she did. And my friends would never do it, you know.
No, absolutely.
And it was invaluable, you know, those weekends, seeing different lives and seeing, you know, the reality of it is just helping people get on with lives and helping them go shopping and things like that.
But I think you know, certainly people, when we used to take the residents of the place I worked in out shopping, people were scared of them. You know, you'd see people kind of edging away from you, and just not knowing what to do and what to say, whether to be friendly.
Well, people feel sort of put upon by it, I think, oddly, don't they? They feel like they're being asked to react to something, or and really the best thing they can do is to get on with what they're doing.
Because
it can happen in gigs, can't it? I think if you're doing gigs and there's someone in with a learning disability, it's the people around them. Their reaction is what makes the gig difficult, because people are willing to get offended on everyone else's behalf, and it is amazing watching people's reaction to things that really it'd be best to just carry on.
Just to kind of carry on regardless. Have things changed at all, do you think, in terms of people's attitudes?
I would hope so. I guess I just assume that people are better educated, and because things like this exist, they do, you know, learn more a bit at a time, but maybe not. What do you think?
I think it's difficult to say things have improved massively. I think some people are more educated, but I think a huge number of people are still ignorant, because I've always thought that unless, for example, mental health-wise, like my dad's had a depressive illness for years, and that's how I kind of knew about it.
Do you think there's been a lot more focus on mental health issues and things like that than anything else?
I do really, and I think unfortunately, you know, the group with learning disability have been left behind a bit in that. People kind of go, well, Paul Merton, well, he looks normal and he's a laugh, you know. How come he's not running naked around the streets waving an axe, because surely that's what people with mental health problems are like. So I think that sort of thing's really valuable in terms of educating people, and it's a bit more difficult to do, isn't it, with learning disability. I think the way forward is to just try and normalise things a bit more. So to have adults with learning disability in films, for example, to maybe get some well-known people who have relatives with learning disability to almost kind of introduce them and talk about them and just kind of demonstrate that this kind of fantasy that a lot of people have, that they're scary or unpredictable or whatever, is just simply wrong, you know. So we've sorted that out then.
That's us sorted it.
Yeah.